Hello Siouxland, and welcome to another episode of Focus on the Community. I'm your host, Eloy Garza, and today I have Jan and Jana from the Siouxland Autism Support Group. Ladies, hello and welcome to the show.
Hi. Hi, thanks for having us.
Jan and Jana.
Right.
It's rare that I have two guests that have such similar names, but here we are. Now, Siouxland Autism Support Group. Now, could you please tell me what your positions are there?
Sure. Really, it's a partnership between the Northwest AEA, which is the Area Education Agency, along with the families, which Jana is part of. And what we do is help support anyone that's afflicted with autism spectrum disorder, whether it's teachers or parents or grandparents, anyone, absolutely anyone.
Now, Jan, what is autism? I mean, that's a very vague thing that most people really don't know what it is.
Sure. Well, autism really is a neurological disorder. So we know that it's something that really affects the behavior of an individual. Most likely they're going to have difficulties in communication. Some kids with autism don't speak at all, and other kids who are on the higher functioning or the Asperger group have very, very good language. And then the other piece is the way that they do communicate. So again, we have some kids that don't communicate very well, and other kids that they don't know when to stop talking. So what we're looking at is extremes with everything. So if I would go down the criteria of autism, you might say, well, gosh, that sounds like me or a lot of people that we know. But what we're talking about is extremes, either not doing enough of it or doing way too much of something.
So my friend that goes here to school with me that talks way too much probably isn't autistic unless it's a real extreme.
And you have to have numerous characteristics. That's just one. That's just definitely one thing. It's also the understanding of what other people think, that reciprocal communication. That just doesn't come real natural for them.
Thank you. Jana, you're one of the parents of an autistic child.
I am. I have a 9-year-old son and diagnosed last year. And he's 9, and he is, as Jan noted, there is a higher functioning end of autism, and that's where my son is. He has Asperger's.
And can you explain Asperger's a little bit more?
Boy, that's a tough one. Big thing with my son is social skills. He gets extra help through the schools with the help of AEA. He gets extra social skills training. As she said, you know, some kids don't know when to stop talking. They don't understand personal space.
Kind of being blunt, saying things that we might think in our head, but they just kind of say out loud.
Sarcasm. They don't understand. They take everything for face value.
And to meet the criteria for Asperger's syndrome, you have to have an average IQ or above. So that's really where many, many of our kids that we've seen in, say, the last 5 years, because that's a new thing for the, when we're looking at a category for helping kids, that's a new category within the last 5 years, is the Asperger's syndrome.
And how has the group helped you and your family?
Oh, I can't even begin to describe it.
Fantastic.
You know, when you hear the word autism, first day I cried. Didn't know what to do, didn't know who to talk to, and the school got me in touch with AEA and through the support group, and it's great. It helps me find people who are in a lot of the same situations, somebody I can talk to, and they understand what's going on.
That's fantastic. That must have been amazing for you and your family once you found out.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's scary, yet it gives you the answers you need to go forward and get the help you need for your kid.
Wow. And how have things been so far?
He's having the best year at school yet. My son is, thanks to it. So,
and that's the whole idea, is that we have to partnership together in order for everyone to help understand. We're really interpreters for our kids. And that sounds very odd, but what we're doing is helping other people understand their behaviors. You know, why are they doing what they're doing? It's due to the disability of the autism. It isn't because they're trying to make you mad, or they're trying to get away with something, or they're the bad kid, you know, maybe a little bit sometimes. But, but first of all, we're always going to err on the autism part. So it's that understanding that's huge. And if we can help educate people, doctors, anyone that works in the community, anyone, that's the key, just for them to understand better.
That's great. Now, you sound like you have a lot of experience in this. How long have you been working with autistic individuals?
Actually, I started at AEA in 1985, and was given the ability to be able to work with families and kids since 1989 with autism. So I feel really very, very fortunate to be able to do that.
Definitely.
I was mentioning earlier that back in 1989, it was 1 in 10,000. That was the incidence, and as of last week, I believe it was, the incidence was 1 in 150. That's a huge increase.
Wow.
And 1 in 94 of those will be boys.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's those are really big numbers you're throwing out there. Why do you think the numbers changed so much?
Well, one thing is education, and you know, back when you think about when Rain Man started, that was kind of the big thing. And then everybody thought, oh gosh, Rain Man is what autism looks like.
Right.
But really, Rain Man had all of the characteristics that you could ever have. But that helped get that word out there. And then if you pick up any magazine, my gosh, you know, Time and Newsweek and Good Housekeeping, Reader's Digest, no matter what you pick up now, you know, typically a couple times a year we'll have something on autism.
Right.
The media, I think that's really helped us tremendously as far as people being aware. And we know that there's a huge fight to get kids identified as early as possible, and we're able to do that at 18 months to 2 years at this point, which is that is so awesome that we'll be able to get that intervention in right away.
Now, at such a young age, how could you see the symptoms?
Well, if you know what you're looking for,
Of
again,
course,
you know, there are certain things that you know, as a little child pointing. I mean, we just take that for granted that kids do that, but with kids with autism, they don't do that. They don't respond to their name like typical kids would, and I'm not sure if Jake did that or not.
You know, well, looking back, you know, like I said, he was just diagnosed last year, but looking back and seeing how he played as a young child, you know, every boy loves their Matchbox cars.
Right.
He didn't play with them in the normal, smash them up, drive them around the room. He would line them up. They had to be in perfect rows, and he'd sort them by color or by type. That was playing to him.
Wow.
So we really look at play skills. That's huge as far as when you're looking at little ones, how they play and how it's different from typical peers. So it's usually very different.
Well, that must have been pretty easy for you. Neat room. Well, I'm sure now that you know everything, that you know what's wrong, or that there is a disability, that everything's so much clearer to you now, you and your family.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
so
you now
fantastic.
can seek the help that you need.
Definitely.
And there's a reason why he's doing what he's doing. And that's what we hear a lot from parents is, gosh, now we have an answer.
Yeah.
You know, now we can go on and say, okay, what do we need to do? And I think that's how you feel.
Absolutely.
That is amazing. Now, I see both of you wearing these really nice pins. What's the story behind the pins?
The national logo for autism is the puzzle piece, because what we're trying to do, for one thing, kids are a puzzle. Definitely a puzzle. What they do one day, maybe they're not going to do the next day. So every day is a little challenge. And then what we're trying to do is, or everyone's trying to do, is put those pieces together so we can get a final project of saying, this is what it is. And at this point, we don't know. We don't know what it is. That's why more and more research is being done. We need to find out the reason for autism so that we can hit it that way too.
Well, you said what the numbers were.
1 in 150.
And now they are?
They are 1 in 150.
Right now they're 1 in 150. Before they were 1 in 10,000?
Right, that's right.
Jeez.
It's an epidemic, as some people say.
That is an enormous number. That's an enormous change.
If you talk about autism with anyone, most of people will say, oh gosh, you know, my neighbor has autism, or my son, or you know, whatever. So it's very common, very common now.
Now it's just really pushing awareness out there.
Exactly, and it's okay. It's okay to have autism. We just need to know what to do.
Wow, that's great. Now, a little bit of contact information for your organization. Where's it at? When do you meet?
All right.
We meet the second Thursday of each month.
Okay.
And we have a website,
Siouxlandautism.org.
Right, okay.
Well, she knows so much else.
Yeah,
Yes,
gosh,
yes.
yeah.
Siouxland Autism.
And we have a toll-free number that'll actually go right to my phone, and if they want to call that, it's 1-800-352-9040, extension 6041. And the big thing that we'd like to do is have everybody come out for April 1st to our Autism Awareness Walk. It's the first one that we're doing.
Okay.
And it'll be starting at the AEA building on Morningside Avenue and walking about a half a mile, I don't know.
Yeah.
And
then looping back.
Not a good full mile.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe a little more.
On the beautiful spring weather.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Right. And we'll have puzzle piece cookies that'll be donated by Sunkissed Bakery.
Oh,
and so we're
go.
really excited about what's going to happen. It's the first one that we're going to have.
Now, what is your primary goal? The primary goal for your organization?
Support and education.
And awareness.
Fantastic. That's a fantastic message. Is there anything else you'd like to touch on?
Well, April is Autism Awareness Month, so we will have lots of activities during the month. So, starting off with our first walk. So, it'll be an exciting month for us. We hope to get the word out there and really bring attention to autism here in Siouxland.
Right, right.
And don't hesitate to ask for help, because there's lots and lots of families out there that come. We usually have about 50 families that attend. And at the same time that the parents are meeting, we are meeting with the kids for social skills. So we have kids from kindergarten through college, really, that come back, and we do fun things. We have childcare for younger tots too. So we want the parents to feel like they can come out and without having to worry about their kids.
Now, do you need volunteers?
Oh, absolutely. We love volunteers. Right, we're always looking for volunteers.
What do you look for in a volunteer?
Patience, understanding, willing to learn.
Patience. Huge. Huge.
Huge amounts of patience. Patience is the virtue.
Maybe a little humor too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And what are some of the things, just for those volunteers, what are some of the things that you do on the second Thursday of the month?
Well, we do numerous things. Like we have kids divided into groups, so depending upon how old they are, and anywhere from working on basic social skills to playing games. Some of the kids will, especially since it's being nice, they'll take a walk. They'll come over to the Dairy Queen.
Right.
It's just really being the peer model, the buddy for them.
Definitely.
That's what's really important.
That's awesome. So one last time, contact information. What's the number?
1-800-352-9040, extension 6041.
And the website is?
www.siouxlandautism.org.
Thank you so much, ladies, for being on the show.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And thank you, Siouxland. Remember, when you focus on the community, you focus on what's important.